Compulsory topic of paper 1 with this topic can be given in question number 2 of your paper 1. The topic is compilation of Quran during the rightly guided caliphs. So as we know that the Quran did not come into its written form, into a compiled book form during the lifetime of the Holy Prophet. So we need to see that what was the record of Quran keeping during the lifetime of the Holy Prophet. It was kept in record, but there are various ways and means in which Quran was kept into a record. So let's see how was it recorded into the Prophet's lifetime. So during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, Quran was written on pieces of animal skin and on parts of bones, but mainly was memorized by the companions. So yes, there were hufaz of Quran. Most of them would memorize Quran. They will commit Quran to their memory, and the others would have their own copies of Quran as well. Some of the companions, including Ubay bin Ka'b, he had his own copy of the Quran, but was his personal copy. Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not compile the Quran into one book while he was leaving this world. However, he recited the whole Quran twice before his death in front of Angel Jibrail. Now, after the demise of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr became the caliph, and during Abu Bakr's caliphate, many companions who had memorized the Quran, they died at the Battle of Yamama. So the number of Hufaz that passed away during the Battle of Yamama were 660. So Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu became worried that the words of the Quran would be lost in this way. So if the companions would die during the battles, or some would die because of their age, so it was suggested to Abu Bakr that the Quran should be compiled into one book. This suggestion was given by Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. Abu Bakr was hesitant. Abu Bakr said that he could not do something the Prophet had not done. So he eventually agreed later on through Ijma. Most of the companions sat together and they came up with the decision that Quran should get compiled, otherwise it's going to be lost with the memories of the people. So in the beginning Abu Bakr hesitated, but later on he agreed and called Zaid bin Sabit to collect all the verses that had been written. Zaid was initially hesitant to accept this enormous task, but eventually agreed. And he was also heard saying that it was easier for me to take a mountain on my shoulder from one place to another, but this task for me is burdensome. So what Zaid bin Sabit did, he was a Hafiz himself. He had memorized the Quran himself. So he made some critical criteria for noting down the verses of the Holy Quran. So he only included a verse into the master copy once he had verified its authenticity. So he did not keep any Quranic ayat into the master copy unless and until it has been verified. Now what he did, he followed a meticulous process to ensure that the transcription of every verse was backed by both direct written testimony of two witnesses as well as the memory. So whosoever would brought the verses of Quran, that person was asked to bring two witnesses along with himself, so that that person can say that this person has a written testimony of the Quran as well as the person has memorized the verses as well. So that person those two witnesses would give shahada, would give witness that this person specifically has heard the verses from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu was also a part of the process of collecting parts of the Musaf from the companions. So now these verses were written in the order that the Prophet had given, but the surahs were written on separate sheets. This copy was then verified by the committee and was kept with Abu Bakr. Once the copy of Quran was verified, it came into a compiled form, so it was kept with Abu Bakr during his lifetime, and after which it was passed to Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, and then after the death of Hazrat Umar, it was passed on to the daughter of Umar, Hazrat Hafsa, who was the wife of the Holy Prophet as well. So later on, compilation of Quran also took place in the time of Usman's caliphate. So during Usman's time, when he became the caliph, Islam had spread to far-flung areas, and one of the companions of Usman, his name was Huzaifa bin Yaman. He observed arguments over Iraqi and Syrian dialects of Quran's recitation. So he reported this issue immediately to Usman Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu, that people were reciting the Quran in a different dialect in the areas such as Armenia and Azerbaijan, and they have an argument of the authenticity of which dialect they are reciting it. So what Usman Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu did, he summoned Zaid bin Sabit along with other companions. So they set about compiling one book into the Qurayshi dialect using the Musaf-e Hafsa, as the Quran's copy was with Hazrat Hafsa. So Musaf-e Hafsa was taken into account, and the copies of Quran were remade, and the 5 copies of Quran were sent to all the other provinces in which the issue of dialect of Quran was raised. So all the copies, previous copies of Quran were burnt, and this you should be able to mention that the burning of Quran's copy was decided by ijma. It was not Usman Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu's individual decision. So burning of all the previous copies of Quran took place, and the new copies of Quran they were made, and they were sent to all the provinces of the expanding Muslim empire. He observed for any other copies to be collected and burnt. He also gave this order that wheresoever the old copies of Quran are found, so they should all be collected and they should be burnt. So for this compilation of Quran's work, for this activity, he was given the title of Jami al-Quran. So this was the task performed by Usman Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu during his caliphate, and this is how he received the title of Jami al-Quran. So we have completed the topic of compilation of Quran, in which we need to be writing about the effort placed by Abu Bakr Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu, Umar Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu, and Usman Razillahu Ta'ala Anhu in the compilation of Quran.